If you guys have ever thought of that question, then get excited because that is exactly what we're going to cover in this video, and the answer might not be what you expect, but let me explain. Let's go upstairs. I need some coffee. It's the morning right now. It's like before 8 o'clock. I need another cup of coffee. I'm also going to grab my handy dandy little whiteboard here because I'm actually going to draw something out for you. So let's go ahead, shut the laptop, go grab some coffee, and chat about weight. All right, guys, pop that top on. The little cold, but we'll go with it. So can you eat intuitively without gaining weight? My answer is yes and no. So let me explain this. And guys, as always, this is not medical advice. If you do need really a medical advice for anything in this video, be sure to reach out to your medical provider immediately. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and like I said, should not be used in place of actual one-on-one advice. Okay, so let's talk about the yes part first. So 3 things can happen when you start to eat intuitively, right? You could gain weight, lose weight, or maintain weight. So yes, there are some people who can be above what is called your set point weight. I have an entire video on this, but in essence, it is the weight that your body wants to be, the weight where it functions optimally. Some people call this like your happy weight, the weight that you can essentially maintain effortlessly while listening to your body's cues, while not dieting. And that looks different for everyone, okay? Just like a Chihuahua and a German Shepherd are different sizes and shapes. Same thing with humans and our bodies. Now, I just updated my blog post on the set point weight, so I'll link to that in the description as well. And it talks more about the different factors that go into it, like our genetics, our environment, our hormones, how those things can impact our set point weights. If you want kind of like with the more detail of that, be sure to check out that blog post. But essentially, yes, it's possible to be above your set point weight. And then when you start to eat intuitively, it may result in weight loss overall. Now we'll get to that no part in a second. Key here, I said overall. Okay, with that, yes, you could possibly lose weight with intuitive eating. However, it is not the goal. And I think that this is a really important thing to note, is that it goes against intuitive eating to actually go into it with the frame of mind of I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to use this as a way to lose weight. And that is because if you are coming into it with this intention, that's not intuitive, right? You're listening to this plan that you have set up for yourself, and you see it all on Instagram, right? People are always saying, oh, lose weight with intuitive eating. They're not actually doing intuitive eating. What's happening is they're extrapolating different principles of intuitive eating and using those as a diet, okay? So whenever we really try to tell our bodies what's gonna happen, like we're gonna lose weight, it is not necessarily being intuitive. Does that make sense? So if someone is selling intuitive eating through the lens of this can help you lose weight, it's not actually intuitive eating. They're extrapolating some of the principles of it. Like I said, the whole idea of intuitive eating is that you're going to allow your body to find that set point weight, the weight that it wants to be. And yes, for some, that means gaining weight. Some are gonna lose weight and some are simply gonna maintain their weight. I also have a podcast, you guys. I haven't talked about it that much on here. So through my membership, the society, we have a podcast. So I interview a lot of the members on their journeys. So it's a lot of real time, what are you going through of this journey? So my goal is to just help people not feel so alone, because sometimes I feel like you watch someone on YouTube and it's like, oh, okay, they're telling me all these things, but I want to hear from like real people who are in the thick of it. So I recently did like a series on it. I did an episode where I talked about the set point weight, and then I talked with different members on gaining weight, losing weight, and maintaining weight through intuitive eating. And again, none of those were the goal. I linked to all the shows in the description, but that's not the goal, right? You can't come into this and say, I'm going to lose weight with this. That's not intuitive eating. That is intuitive eating being extrapolated. Does that make sense? So now I want to have my whiteboard here. I want to draw something out for you. Okay. Here's what I want you guys to expect with your intuitive eating journey. So essentially, we're gonna pretend that we started here. 3 things can happen. You can gain weight, maintain weight, or lose weight. However, you can see here that there is an initial increase, okay? So when I say no, you can't lose weight with intuitive eating, what I mean is like, even if you have this loss, that's where you are in relation to your set point weight, I typically say to kind of expect some sort of a gain in the beginning, and let me explain why. So I've used this analogy before. I want you to pretend that you're swimming from one end of the pool to the other end of the pool. It's a long pool, totally underwater, okay? What happens is air is restricted, and by the time you get to the other end of the pool, you're like, come up, and you're like, I need air, right? The same thing happens with food. So if you've been dieting and you haven't been giving your body enough food, you haven't been giving it enough types of foods, you've been deeming food bad, all of those things our body senses as restriction. So a lot of times when we come up, when we start this intuitive eating journey, we take a big breath of air, right? Or in this sense, we take a big inhale of food, right? We likely eat more food, more of those off limits foods. Some people call it this kind of honeymoon phase. So that's why I say, even if you are below your set point weight, I would expect there to be some sort of weight fluctuation in the beginning. And guys, again, this is in general what I recommend. Every single person is going to have a different journey, but that's what I recommend. So that's kind of where my yes and no comes in, is that I don't expect it to be necessarily right off the bat. If you're above your set point weight, it's a leap of faith, you guys, in knowing that, especially listen to all those 3 podcast episodes, everyone is, regardless of what happened to their weight, much happier, more confident, healthier in where they lay with their set point weight, right? So I hope this explains it well. I think this is a really good drawing in that analogy. I love that one. Bottom line with the relation to weight and intuitive eating, like I said, that's not the goal, right? Maintaining, gaining, losing is not necessarily the goal with intuitive eating, but they're all outcomes that happen, okay? So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you're looking for more on the set point weight, like I said, I'll put tons of links in the description for you. And also, if you feel like, okay, well, I'm trying to do intuitive eating and I feel like I'm at a place where, I don't know why I'm waving this around, I don't think this is my set point weight, then be sure to take the quiz that I have, which is gonna help you what's holding you back from true intuitive eating. Because there's one of 3 things typically happens. Either we're being restricted, essentially what I call ultra careful eating, we are doing all or nothing eating, or we are needing to implement a little bit of gentle nutrition. So if you take that quiz in the description, it's going to give you a workbook to help you overcome those, because those are really the 3 big things that people feel like, okay, I'm trying intuitive eating, or I want to try it, but I feel like it's not working, or I feel like something's holding me back. Take that quiz. It's going to give you tons of resources. They're honestly the same resources, a lot of the same that I give inside of the society. Do a ton of coaching on through that. So be sure to give that a look if you are looking for a little bit more direction. But the answer is yes and no. So I hope this video was helpful for you. And if you guys have any questions just on set point weight or weight in general, let me know. And if you like this video, as always, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, hit the little bell, all of the things. And I'll see you guys back here next week with another video talking all things intuitive eating, food freedom, all the things. Okay? All right, guys, have a fabulous day.